This is where I thought I would be at 25. And actually where I ended up, let's just say I'm 25 now. What I actually ended up is being more introspective and more conscious of how I feel and realizing that the thoughts and desires that I have are not my own. Oh my gosh. I'm finally done with this semester. Spring 2023, and I'm finally moving into the summer break. And oh my gosh. If you clicked on the title of the video, you already know what it's about. It's where I thought I would have been at 25. So I hope you enjoy it, and here we go. So I didn't upload a video last week because I was finishing up my finals and wrapping up everything that I needed to get done for this semester. And I'm also planning on moving, and I'm trying to go part-time at my job. So it's a lot going on. This is not a video that's going to be scripted at all. I need a break from the scripting. I needed a break from social media in general. So I got rid of all my social media. I didn't delete the accounts, but I uninstalled the apps. And it's been 2 days now without social media. I still have YouTube. I don't consume as much. There's no structure for this video either. I'm just gonna kind of ramble about where I thought I was gonna be at 25. I don't turn 25 until December, so I have like, what, 7 more months until I'm 25, but it's fairly close enough for me to be like where I thought I would be. Now, anything can still happen between 24 and 5 months to 25. I'm open to that being the case, but I'm open to it. I'm open to all things, especially the good ones. Let's just entertain the idea that I'm just slightly better than where I'm at right now by 25. If you guys want to know, this has been all of the work from one class. This is just one class. The other one was more conceptual. It was like one of those electives like humanities, so it didn't require as much paper work, but that's full of tests. Those were all notes. And this was all me practicing problems. I wrote a damn book just for me practicing problems. So I know, right? Get into the actual video because I'm gonna have to edit this shit. Where do I even begin? I've always thought I was gonna be some sort of entrepreneur, not even necessarily rich, but free, financially free and capable of doing whatever my heart desired whenever I felt like it. I always felt that I was gonna be that person. I always tried to make that possible by trying different things. It's not just trying different things, it's trying things. It's an intersection between consistency, opportunities, networking, and timing, and a little bit of luck. Like there's these different intersections that actually produce a successful person, and that person that has that freedom that we all aspire to have. So I thought that I would be traveling a lot by 25. I thought that I would have been in Greece and when I wanted to, and then I woke up and I took the train to the next place that's wherever. And it was just like that. And I was working remote, obviously, because I was making this content, or I had this job where it didn't require me to be stuck at one place at one time, or maybe I could move to work. I had that ideal mindset and mind frame about my mid-20s, is that I would be location free and I would be able to produce money wherever I go. And part of me still feels like that. I can't just dissociate from it because things are starting to get more real now, and I'm like, oh shit, adulthood is not just something that you just do. It's not that easy. And I think that the same conversation needs to be had about entrepreneurship on these spaces. We need to talk more about it. It's not easy. It's not easy to be the person that makes $70,000 a year. That's not me, by the way. I'm a little bit off from that. But that's not even the average person. The average person doesn't make that. So to talk about the person that makes 6 figures or millions even, and they have location freedom, that is a rare person. To have put a cap like on yourself and to say that you need to do this by this age is just such a hindering thing to do to your psyche, to your emotions, is to try to put these time constraints on things that only a few people will ever do in life. I think that's just a crazy concept that we do to ourselves, and it's something that we do to make ourselves feel like more shit than we already do. And I'm gonna get to why I think we do that. So obviously by default, if I wanted to be the person that traveled at 25, I also thought that I was gonna be an entrepreneur at some point to some degree. Always been artistically inclined growing up, and I thought that I was gonna make my millions there. Okay, I have no real world perception about how art works in the free enterprise market. So I thought that I would just go to some art school down in Savannah. If you're familiar with it, it's called SCAD. And then I would get a job after racking up $100,000 to $200,000 in debt. And when you look at the numbers, the median average, I guess, salary is like 40 to 50,000, no more than 60, I think. But it's just not practical. I don't think you need to go get a $200,000 degree to be an artist. You can be a successful freelance artist, but even in that, you have to have some level of business acumen. You have to have a lot of opportunity, visibility online. It's not just something that just happens. And there are people who do this for years and still get nowhere. Nowhere substantial. Nowhere that can replace their full-time thing, that structure. So I think the conversation that needs to be had is, what does it really take to be an entrepreneur? Who is it going to happen to? And you play the numbers game. And not saying that you write it off for yourself, but a lot of us have to get real. This isn't something that everybody can do. It's not saying that you can't do it. If you're still going to try, be okay with trying and maybe not getting there. There's nothing wrong with aspiring to be more, but it's just understanding that that's a rare thing to happen. So I thought that I would be an entrepreneur about 25, and I'm not saying that it won't happen in the next 7 months, but to be a successful one in the next 7 months is just kind of like unheard of for the majority of even entrepreneurs. That's not something I'm expecting of myself. I'm not putting that pressure on me anymore to be an entrepreneur by 25. Would I still like to be one? Yes. Ultimately, if I follow my degree trajectory to becoming a dentist, I can indeed be one somewhere in my mid-30s to 40s. It's just not a pressure, a weight that I'm putting on myself right now. Lastly, I guess when I turned 25, I just thought everything would work out. I just thought things would just work out. I thought they would just work. Like the videos, the art, the commissions, the being a martial artist, I thought these things would just happen. And it's not true that way. It doesn't work that way. You know, the greatness comes as a result of you doing the same thing over and over and over and over. People only see the highlights. They don't see when you're eating the same boring meals. They don't see when you're doing the same boring shit every day. They don't see that part. Like these 4 months that I was in school, doing this schoolwork every fucking day while going to work, you're gonna see when I'm like, oh, I graduated with an A, and then you're gonna be like, oh, congratulations. You didn't see 4 months of me pretty much coming home a 12-hour shift to a boring ass assignment. So I just thought things would just work out. And I think that's what we all think. They'll just work itself out, and it's just not true. It's not. Things aren't gonna just work themselves out. You do the work until something comes out. You input and then there's output. It's as simple as that. And the more input, and of course there are different variables that influence the outcome, but for the most part, it's just input and output. It's give and take. Like, there's no other way around that. There's nothing that's just gonna work out for you. So I think we need to lose that notion in general, and I'm letting it go for myself. I don't want to just think things will just work out anymore. So it's okay if things just don't work out. Just continue to do the work and you'll reap the benefits when you're supposed to. And the question I want to leave you with is actually a quote. Let me look it up on my phone real quick. If you only read the books that everyone else is reading, you can only think what everyone else is thinking. Last point that I want to bring up is, who told us that it had to be this way? What movies, TV shows, and whatever media told us that we had to aspire to be these things at this time rate, at this time frame? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Has somebody sat back and thought, why are we putting so much pressure on ourselves to be something? What are we racing against? Like, I get the economy, I get the financial literacy, I get all these things where it's like it's stacking up against you, the news, the impending doom of the economy collapsing. And who told us that we had to panic like this? Okay? Who told us that? Are they even things that we want? Are they things that are truly our desires? Are we being made to want things? What is really going on? This is where I thought I would be at 25. And actually where I ended up, let's just say I'm 25 now. What I actually ended up is being more introspective and more conscious of how I feel, and realizing that the thoughts and the desires that I have are not my own. At 25, I'm learning that I'm not my own person. And That's not who I want to be. And I hope you take something away from this too. If you only read the books that everyone else is reading, you can only think what everyone else is thinking. I'm Devontae. I love you. Take care of yourselves. I hope you like, comment, and tell me what you think and what you want to see next, and subscribe. It's been a rough 4 months, man.